This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
It's amazing how I'm okay with silence, because I'll just stare. Like if she goes, I'm going to the store, do you want to go? Tell me if I'm going to the store. Why are we pretending I have free will in this situation? I don't know. Am I? Ladies, you not believe how coachable your guy actually is, right? 99% of the time, your guy wants you to tell him what to do. And as long as you watch your tone, there's a particular tone you hit, then there's going to be problems. But if you watch your tone and you stay out of that tone, and you know what tone I'm talking, right? If you stay out of that tone, he's going to be okay. Because then he doesn't have to figure out what you need. Just tell him. Just go into the store, just look at your guy right in the face and go, listen, I'm going to the store. I don't want you to go, but I don't want to empty out the cart by myself, so you're going to go.
So true.
You're tuned in to the #1 show on the planet. The Heffron and Reep Show.
It's the Heffron and Reep Show, everybody. Trying to get all the numbers to things to work. Thanks for listening, however you're listening, or if you're watching on Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. I'm bundled up with my reading glasses on. My mic's being weird, so I'm going to eat it the entire time. That little thing you saw was from a 800-pound gorilla, the record company. Turned a cartoon out of one of my old bits that was on one of my last albums that I have with them. It's 4 minutes long, so it's a little bit longer than what people would say anything should be. You always have those people who are like, you should make sure you keep your stuff really short because people only, and then some guy does a really long one and people go, he's a genius. He did a long one. You should do long ones. And then you do a long one and people are like, nah, you need to do short ones. So it's just long enough on Facebook that it's not getting the play that I want, because I think people are like, listen, the world's burning right now. I don't have 4 minutes in my life. But you should check it out, everybody. And on the video that's on the John Heffron fan page or whatever it's called, there's links, I think, that you can listen to it online. Because me and John Reep both, it could be two minutes into this already asking you to do something. Would love it if you just stream our albums on various whatever, Spotify, Pandora, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Do it. It helps us. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. But it's a really cool cartoon. The guy did a great job. I'm
super jealous because I also have an album with the same company, 800-Pound Gorilla. Yeah. Mine's called Ginger Pain. And I have a story on there that is perfect for animation. And I've actually put it out there in the universe many times. Someone please animate this. I haven't heard anything. And then we start the show with my own pal with an animation. And I'm happy for you.
I know a guy.
I'm so happy.
I could get that done. Hey, listen to this real quick. Just want to start with like a random brain teaser.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's nothing we pregame talked about, but
okay.
Okay. What's the relationship between these three groups of numbers? Okay.
Got it.
Okay. This one was hard. Okay, ready? What's the relationship? Do I need music? Hold on, John. Hold on. What's this? 3. Hold on. I slowed everything up. Okay, sure. I don't.
You're going to give me.
I don't need anything.
Some numbers, and I'm going to try and guess what the relation. I'm just stalling until you find music.
I can, and I'm done. I'm sick of everything in my life not working or being a thing.
It's fine.
Here is what is the relationship between these three groups of numbers? Ready? 147, 2580.
Wait, what was the second group of numbers?
2580-369. I just gave you a clue, but your eyes were closed. So if you're watching right there, you would have saw what just happened. But your eyes were closed. So, but I gave you.
I can't see it because my eyes were closed.
Yeah, but how I just did it with my. So close your eyes again. Mm-hmm. I don't know what people are saying because I'm not clicking. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So what relate? And I wish I could be playing music right now, John Reap. That made this better. If you have any buttons on your side. So what relationship between these three group of numbers? Mm-hmm. Okay. Keep your eyes closed. 147 2580 369.
All right. Can I open my eyes now?
Sure.
Okay. 147 is I love you. No, I'm wrong about that. Yeah, no, I'm right. 147. No, I'm way off. That's 143. 258, and then I know 369. Get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the wall. That's not it.
So I'm going to try to do visual aids for you right here. Without
147 2580 369.
Columns. Keep in mind those. So 147 is a column.
Right, that's one set of numbers.
One set of
second set of numbers
down, could go north or south. It could go up or down, and then the second set of numbers 2580 could go down, and then 369. Close your eyes.
You need to close my eyes?
Yeah, close your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we doing, man?
Yeah, I just gave everybody who was watching a clue.
Oh. I don't know. I'm afraid it will take us too long for me too long to figure it out and be entertaining at the same time.
All right, so I'll just show you. Ready? Here it is.
Oh, I never would have got that.
2580 369.
Kristen Wild got it. Dial pad on the phone. Yes. I wonder who she's voting for.
Yeah. That's tomorrow. Got to vote. And this could be our last podcast, right? If the world's burning, I think we'll be okay.
Right.
We don't have politics here on Heffron and Reap. That's one of our things, so we can't even accidentally talk about it. But I'm just saying there's a chance the world gets really creepy, and I hope everybody stays safe. And it could be nothing. And I just want, if the world is burning tomorrow, I just think Disney Plus should release the rest of the Mandalorians. Yes, I agree. Just so we know, just as Rome is burning, we can see what happens. That would be only fair. And then we'll go into apocalypse. May the numbers be in your favor or whatever they say from,
Dude, I'm not going to get into politics either. I've never done that. My whole school of thought is like Elvis Presley. I think he said it best. I've got fans on both sides. And I'm not going to alienate. I'm not going to divide my audience. So you'll never know. I'll never tell you about that. But I will say this. Yesterday, I flew back. I was in Toledo, as you know, John Heffron.
Yes.
I was in Toledo, Ohio. I flew back on Sunday. And I landed in Charlotte. And on my way home, I hear helicopters and planes. Donald Trump came to Hickory, North Carolina.
What?
I had no idea. There was no warning.
Right.
And I'm not in the know about that. I was busy driving, getting home. All I had on my mind was what was in the refrigerator.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm like, what the? And so apparently, he came and talked for 20 minutes at the airport in Hickory. And yes, we have an airport. It's also a museum, but interesting fun fact. So, he was making the rounds. He went from Hickory to Rome, Georgia to somewhere in Florida. And, so crazy. This time in the 80s, it was all Ronald Reagan. if we're going with the 80s thing.
With you are wearing a members only jacket. I had mine sitting next. I was going to bring it, and then I'm outside in the barn, and it's 30 degrees out here. So,
well, what are you wearing, by the way? You've got like a scarf or something stuffed in this. You look like you look uncomfortable. Are you comfortable, John?
I'm way comfortable.
Okay, because how many layers do you have on?
I got a couple. I have, I got it's a vest. It's a vest.
Wow. You have a vest and a hoodie, but you've also got a T-shirt under that. That's 3. I'm counting that as 3. That's 2.5 layers.
I got 3, and then but it's it's.
But yeah, let me give you a little rundown here. I'm wearing an original members only jacket given to me by a fan of the podcast. I want to give her a shout out. Rachel Lewis, who's a fan of the Heffron and Reap podcast, heard us talking about 80s stuff, members only, one time because of the jacket you wore.
Right. I have a brand new spanking one that I should have wore today.
Wait, you have a brand new members
I bought
only?
it off. I didn't. I got mine off of Amazon, brand new, members only in a bag,
When you say brand new,
it came wrapped like with plastic around it.
It's new to you. Was it made in 2020 or was it made in 1980 something?
I don't know, but it's a members only. It has tags on and everything. Never been worn, by anybody but me. You can get them brand new.
Oh, nice. Well, because
the old school, like somebody gave you one, is equally as cool, but you can go straight up brand new.
How much did you spend on this jacket, John? Be honest.
I want to say we probably got to be in the 50s, 60s. I'm not even going to try to look on my computer because I'm trying to be present.
Well, I'd like to tell you that this jacket is an original members only jacket, and I spent $0.
There you go. You won the members only. You are the president of our little club. I thought about that because I knew you were going to get one. And then I watched, now just follow me in this. I'm going to be all over. I watched a documentary. And by the way, this light behind me was supposed to go off that way. The light in front of me doesn't make me look like I'm like, I feel like Doc Holliday. I look super pale.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
You are wild up, you are an oak. Yeah, so I want the lighting to change. Anywho, I watched a documentary on a mall somewhere, and it was just one of those old school malls. Every other store was closed. And the whole documentary was about the security guy who just opens it up. And in all the restaurants, the Subway leaves, and the anchor stores, they had a Kmart and a JCPenney's and a Belk.
Yeah, I know Belk.
Yeah, that's right. So then it had like Belk was the only store left, and it was just these old people basically mall walking, and it was just one guy just go store to store. And it was really depressing. And it's not even shot it's not even shot the documentary. I think if somebody just shot every day and just put like sad music to it.
Oh, right.
But it made they kind of show, I think, what the mall was when it first opened in that it was jammed.
Yeah.
Right. So then somehow, long story short, my brain went to jeans back then when malls were like, do you ever wear Jordache jeans?
No, I didn't wear Jordache jeans. That was mostly females where I was from. That's what they wore. But I do remember Jordache jeans. Did they make them for guys?
Well, so here's what I was watching, and I remember there was one girl in our high school that had Jordache jeans, and she was probably like the first girl to get like a butt where you when she was walking with those Jordache jeans, you were. But I remember I saved all summer or whatever, and then went to the mall where I grew up by 12 Oaks, and I bought a Ocean Pacific hoodie.
Oh yeah, OCP.
Right, I got Ocean Pacific. And then I got a pair of Jordache, and I don't remember what jeans were popular back then. Like it was Levi, it was
Bugle Boy.
Yeah, Jabos and all that stuff came later. I'm talking when I was in maybe sixth grade.
Okay.
Like there was Ooh La La. So there were like Lee jeans. There was Sassoon, I believe, or a female jean. But I had a pair of Jordache.
Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein's an old friend of mine. Don't want nobody's name on my behind.
Yeah.
I had a pair of Jordache jeans, and I'm just super skinny then. Opposed to now, I just remember wearing them and just no bulge. Like you just kind of look down and there was no bulge. Like because this kind of like 80s rocker stuff was going on. So you kind of were like, I need a cod piece or something. And then so the whole time I was watching that documentary, I was just thinking, were Jordache girl jeans? That was like, I literally thought my Ocean Pacific hoodie with my Jordache jeans and then those brown deck shoes that had the lace going around the side. That and my polo cologne. I really thought I was gonna get South Lyon Junior High Best Dresser of the Year award at the end of the year. I was convinced that was my opening day outfit, that I would crush it.
Wow.
My hair was feathered. I had cologne on, and I even had a gold chain. I remember going to school going then, man, look at me. I'm as yuppie and rich as you could possibly, be.
You might be the only guy I know to buy and wear Jordache jeans. Now, is this when Acid Wash came out?
Nope, before.
Is before Acid Wash? Was it before the two-tone?
No, it was. So the jeans were super jeany color, and then they had super gold stitching that just went up like on the crotch, and it had, I don't know, those of you on Facebook, were Jordache jeans.
Right.
Were they girl jeans?
Let us know in the comment section. We're going live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Yeah.
And we can see your comments because we're using this thing called StreamYard. And I see all these people. Shout out Lauren, Samantha, Wendy, Thomas, Jessica, Rick Sanford III, Dawn. We want to know, were Jordache jeans just for females? Let us know in the comment section. I would kill. Ronald Cudd said he had a Jordache and Calvin Klein. Okay.
How horrible that guys if you put a pair of, could we get Jordache? Again, I'm not looking at my computer to look up any of this stuff. So could we still find Jordache jeans? Like if we wanted to have a whose butt looks better in Jordache jeans competition between us, could we both, could we get Jordache jeans still? Do you think?
I'll probably. I mean, if you could order a brand new members only jacket, I'm sure we could look up. I'm sure we could find some Jordache jeans. That's what we should do, John. We need to order online Jordache jeans, put them on, have a contest on Facebook. We'll take a poll. We'll both take pictures of our asses in the Jordache jeans. We'll let people
rate that ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Jordache has a site. I had Jordache jeans skirt 1984. We could do that. We could see who between us look good in a Jordache jean shirt.
Chick jeans, says Rick Sanford III. Dudes rocked Bugle Boy and Levi's and summer. This is true. I had Bugle Boys, Levi's and Wranglers. Calvin Klein's I had. Those were the jeans. I never had Jordache.
Klein's, though, any different than Jordache? Like, if you look back at them, they both had the same little strip on the butt with weird stitching. And I guess Calvin Klein's.
I mean, it's all denim, right?
But
as long as it's not cut, and as long as there's not a design or a cut, to where it's supposed to be for. Well, you just said your bulge didn't look that great in these Jordaches.
It never does, by the way.
Maybe Bugle Boy would have been better cut for you.
I've never owned a pair of Shane said that they were chick jeans. I knew it. I knew when I was watching it then I feel as made fun of, even though nobody remembers I had them. Right?
Right.
Now I feel dumb for wearing them 30 years ago, but it was the 80s. We all wore dumb stuff.
Right. Okay, look, Thomas is saying, looks like Jordache only made jeans for women. You had jeans, dude.
No, there's no way. There was a place.
It's okay, John. No, it's 2020. Look, what you did back then, not a big deal. All right?
No,
I played powder puff football. I dressed up like a female cheerleader. It's fine.
There's no way. They had to have made. Again, I'm not looking. Can somebody look up? Did Jordache make men's jeans in the 80s? I need somebody to look that.
Someone look that up for John. Now, let me ask you this, John.
There's a place in Michigan called Brody's, and it was kind of a store where Jewish kids would go to get camp stuff to go away to camp.
Oh, okay.
And I would get a Izod shirt there. My mom would take me in there, and they would have every color of Izod shirt you could possibly think of. And then they had boys' jeans. They had Levi's, and then they had Jordache, and just every other type of jean you can. Right? Not Wrangler. There's Wrangler, and then there's like this.
Stan Bankus. I don't know if I trust. It says nope, but I don't know how much research he's done. And then Samantha Dawn Kingston, who I do trust, said no, all made for women. This is great. Do you have a picture, John, of you wearing these jeans? I want to see you in the jeans, and I want to look at your bulge.
I think that there's no way I would have fit. There's like, even being 12 or something, or 13, aren't sizes for. I didn't have a 4. It would have been 22, 26. Like
John,
no way I had.
Were you by yourself when you bought these jeans, or did you have a parent with you? Did they make you put these on?
I wanted them because I thought that that's what the style was. See, Thomas said, Heffron, you can get Jordache jeans on eBay. So that's a bigger thing. And again, I'm not looking up anything. If you type into eBay, do men's Jordache jeans. Yeah.
They don't exist, apparently, according to Jessica and Reynolds. If you Google Jordache jeans for men, they do not exist.
Clarify. She said they do exist. Read.
Oh, they do exist. Oh, I threw the word not in there. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, the Alan Jackson. All right, so they came in men's sizes. Maybe they were ahead of their time. Maybe this is when, Boy George was big. And everyone was like, we're very androgynous. Prince, Boy George. Maybe Jordache was ahead of the curve in the 80s, and they're like, look.
Hey, Alan, is there a way if you put, there has to be a commercial, right? Just like they're for Jordache jeans. If that exists, then I know I'm right. Because I know there are commercials for members only jackets like you have on.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about.
Sure. By the way, looking at that jacket, I don't know why that ever went.
Dude.
Those because right, everybody wears the flight jackets now that has the pocket on the arm. Right? It's on a zipper. I have one that looks really cool. I wear it all the time. There's kind of no difference between that and the one you have or, the one I have.
Do you know the history of the members only jacket, John? It's a brand of clothing that became popular in the 1980s with its line of jackets. The brand was created in 1975 and introduced the American markets to the Europe craft imports. Members only racer jackets were distinguished by their narrow epaulettes. This little thing, this thing here, it's like a military thing, right?
Yeah.
And the collar with the knitted trim.
Okay.
Their tagline in advertising was, "When you put it on, something happens." And I do feel like when I put this thing on, something happened. Like right now, I look like I'm on the set of any kind of 1980. Look at my hair, Like I'm very 80s looking right now, dude. And I didn't even know this until I put the jacket on. And I looked up the old commercials for members only jackets.
Right.
Do you remember anything from these? I mean,
No.
we're probably you were probably like 8th grade, 9th,
Yeah.
7th grade.
I had one like that, and then I had a light blue one because it came in a bunch of different colors.
Yes, it did.
You could rock it out, and then I imagine if you were at dating age or going to bars back then, every dude at the bar had to have a members only jacket.
Right.
I guess.
So there's also knockoff jackets that happened.
I might have had a knockoff one that was members like the only, but it was like they were
I could tell. I've already looked it up because I thought we were gonna. This is great. So me and the Alan Jackson were talking beforehand. I guess I was very excited about my jacket. He said, "Yeah, I wanted a jacket. My parents didn't give me a jacket. I had the knockoff jacket." I go, "Oh yeah, there was a ton of knockoff jackets, and some of the names of them was Cotton Trader, Man's Club, and Trader Bay." But this jacket was so popular that the knockoff brands, they were everywhere. And I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, my mom caved in and she got me a members only jacket. And I felt so like happy and like a badass and like I was the shit. And I remember riding my bicycle, wearing my jacket around the block, just thinking I was a member of a gang or something. And then I wrecked my bicycle in the jacket, scuffed it up on the asphalt.
Right.
And it was ruined. And I was so pissed about that. But what were you going to say?
I remember the color of it. I don't remember if it was a members on. What's the men one that you had?
Man's Club.
Yeah, man. And it had a zipper on the side where you could put an ID, so it had plastic, so you could slide like a card in there, and it came with an ID card that you put in there. And I remember filling it out and then putting it in that jacket just because. Why would you not?
Of course. That's Michael Jackson later. I guess maybe it was Michael who made there was a shift from this to a lot of zippers, right? Breakdancing kind of did that. Michael Jackson kind of did that, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't pull off the Thriller jacket, even though they were pretty cool.
Yeah. I remember wanting to get a pair of this members only jacket was a big item for me. And I wrecked my bike. Mom got mad that I scuffed a hole in it. Fast forward only maybe a year later, or maybe it was before. I get the timeline confused. Parachute pants. I wanted a pair of parachute pants that had all the zippers on it and stuff.
So,
yeah, and Mom goes, "Look, if you fall down in those parachute pants, it's going to burn a hole in them." And I said, "I want the parachute pants." And then at my local skating rink here in Hickory, place called Skateland, they had a lock-in. And I told my mom, "I'm wearing my parachute pants to Skateland for the lock-in." She goes, "I wouldn't wear those because, like I told you, you could fall on the carpet, you could fall down, you're going to burn a hole in." And I was extra careful because I remember what happened to me with the members-only jacket. I was extra careful, and I was cool. Skating, didn't fall down, but it was a lock-in. And at some point, people are just going to randomly lay down and take a nap or something. So I was laying down on the floor, on the carpet. Some older kid rolls up to me, grabs my skates as I'm laying there, grabs my feet, and goes, "No sleeping!" And then pulls me and drags me on the carpet, burning 2 holes in my parachute pants.
I have a brand new pair of parachute pants. Have you've seen me in them, the red ones? Straight up, you can get them off of Amazon too, brand new. Not even they literally say parachute pants. They're red. We were talking about something right before that.
Jordache, Man's Club, the knockoff members only jackets. I was going to show you a commercial of the members only jackets, and I want to see if you remember this commercial or the spokesman for the commercial. Is that what you were thinking, John?
Yeah. And then also because again, none of my life works. My keyboard doesn't work, so I can't look up Jordache men's pants because people keep saying,
Well, according to the comments,
can I jump in just for a second, guys?
Yeah,
because I've got breaking news here. I do have in video form a response to the Jordache jeans men's debate. If you are okay with me playing it.
Oh yes, Alan. Let's do that first, and then let's show the commercial for members only.
Okay.
Distressed Denim by Jordache.
Woo, John, you had the Jordache look. Did you do this?
I had the Jordache look.
Did you dance with your shoulders like that?
The Jordache look. I forgot about the two-tone jeans.
No, yeah, two-tone. That I asked you about that.
Oh,
I said
acid wash.
I said acid wash, and then I said two-tone after that.
Do you think there's some weird subliminal thing, like going back to that commercial? If you see a woman's, I don't know pronoun to use anymore, so you don't sound like a creep. But right when you're conditioned to something, and when you were a kid, that was the first time, right, that you started to get weird feelings. So right about when you're preteen, I think is when, for me at least, is when Jordache was a thing, right? So I might associate a butt more in old Jordache jeans than Lululemon yoga pants, like, because I have so much. It's like, am I even making sense? It's like a nostalgia thing.
Well, yes.
So can Jordache jeans come back? But I'm not thinking of Hollywood Fit now. But I don't even know what I'm saying.
Well, okay, I think I know what you're saying. I have a specific memory burned in my brain of a girl, and she just got the Jordache jeans. And she had the Jordache love.
Can you hear that song again?
Play it again, Alan.
Distressed Denim by Jordache.
Yeah, that's when it was cool to run around in the ocean with your jeans on.
Yeah.
The Jordache look. Now I remember having a specific memory of I had a specific memory of a girl that just got the Jordache jeans.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing they were so tight that all I remember is staring at her butt go up the stairs. Like, I remember just following her and watching her go up the stairs and just going like, she's got the Jordache look.
She's got the Jordache look.
Yeah. Jordache.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Ha ha.
A lot of shaking video one. Tim says Z Cavaricci's guess is only late 90s brand. Jabot jeans. I might even have to look up that. My look with Jabot's. John, do you remember what Jabot?
No, I don't think Jabot made it down here, but definitely Guess did, and Z Cavaricci. I think that's a Northern Italian thing. We didn't have it down here in the South.
So did you have
unless Alan can correct me?
Did you have Chesky? So
yeah, we have Chess King. Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to throw some stuff at Alan. If you can pull up Jabot's, I'm curious to see even if there was a commercial. Here's what I remember about Jabot's jeans. Right at where your zipper would be. And I don't know if they made female Jabot's jeans. This is definitely a dude thing. Right halfway at where your zipper would be, there was a little white label that said Jabos, but it was about halfway up your zipper, and I don't know if there's anything on your butt, but it just said Jabos, and then you would wear your Jabot jeans with your K-Swiss.
I do remember K-Swiss.
And I don't remember if Jabots were kind of lower waist. But that's how you'd rock like your IOU sweatshirt, and then maybe your do you see those? See, now those look like chick jeans, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like if you were to see those, I don't know if those are
because the pockets are weird. The pockets are not on the side; they're directly in the front.
Yeah, they would go straight down.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, you'd go. I haven't seen those. Yeah, they would go straight down, and then you'd pin them. Like Don just said, your French roll their pants. You fold them or make them really tight around your ankle, and then you go with your K-Swiss, and then your they go to Camp Dearborn here.
I did do that with my jeans. I did do the French roll, but I don't remember the Z Cavarici or the Jabots.
So Z Cavarici I performed my first time in comedy in a pair of those, and I thought everyone's going to probably think I'm pretty rich because I'm performing Z Cavarici. So Z Cavarici are hammer pants. Literally, they would go all the way up to your stomach. And they would have a buckle and then a zipper, and it would say Z Cavaricis.
Oh my gosh!
If you look up merry-go-round Z Cavaricis, I think there's a great, a great picture of that.
We had a merry-go-round. We had a chess king.
Oak Tree was also one.
You remember Jams?
Do not.
Oh, Alan. I know Alan got to remember Jams were yeah. That's the Z Cavarici?
That's an extreme version of Z Cavarici. I don't remember, but he did weird shit like that.
That looks ridiculous.
They were basically hammer pants. But you'd wear that, and then you would everything was tucked in back then. So look. And again, I'm not looking at my computer to tell more of the story. So my look was I would wear that. I would tuck in, and I always wore a baseball hat, but underneath I would have my hair feathered, and like right here, I would feather my hair and spray it. I would spray hairspray. You kind of see the feather on the side, and then right on the side of the hat. You'd see it would be really gross, hard and crusty from the hairspray that I would spray. You know how, not getting political, but you know how Trump does that weird feathered crap? No, over his ear. It looks.
So
imagine just having a hat. Well, yeah, I guess I would look the same. But yeah, people
want to see a picture of you in the parachute pants.
Not at home. If I was, I'd have this gear, but for next time.
So in high school, John, I did all the things that people are saying. I did the French roll. I had Bugle Boy jeans, and I had a Bugle Boy T-shirt. And I would even do that with the sleeves on the T-shirt. I would flip it over once and roll up the T-shirt sleeves to match the roll at the bottom of the jeans. Fanny pack, braided belt.
Braided belt was always good.
With the leather shoes that you talked about with this thing at the brown deck shoes, leather shoes, and I wore it with no socks.
Yeah, you never wore socks with that. That was a good look.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I just you'd always those were always like the older dudes that just had the
Jordache look. You Bugle got Boy. The look.
The Jordache look. Bugle Boy is, for those of the younger people listening, I guess was kind of the buckle.
Yeah. Well, John, I to get back to the members only jacket talk, if you can, real quick.
Yeah. You don't have to be done.
I want to show you the commercial for the members only jacket, and I want to see if you remember this dude. Alan, can we show John and everybody that commercial?
Hi. Never thought I'd want to do a commercial, but here I am. For members only jackets. Why? Because when I put one on, something happens. They feel fantastic. The colors are great, and all those different styles absolutely terrific. They go anywhere, anytime. But it's only authentic if it says members only right here. I really believe in them. So should you.
Oh, dude, who was that guy?
Well, of course you know who that is, right?
No. Well, do you know who it is?
Yeah, 100%. I remember running home from school to see if Luke met Laura, and she was on the balcony. And then they would always sing that song, "Who's Laura? And don't cry, I know you want it that way." So let's, if we can play that commercial game.
Wow.
Look at it the entire time, right? And just think, let's guess how many grams of coke he has in his pocket.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Okay. Also, other things to be looking out for. Let's guess how many grams of coke are in his pocket.
All right, what jacket do you think? Yeah, okay.
And let's guess, where is he going? He's walking back and forth a bunch, but he's not going anywhere till the end. Also, was John McEnroe popular at the same time as this dude? Because I don't remember this guy. I didn't watch soap operas. I didn't watch that one.
I think that's all. General Hospital. I think that's all that was his thing.
General Hospital. I was, which one did I watch? I can't think of the name of it now. But Young and the Restless, that's the only one I watched. Okay, so we're going to watch this again.
Yeah.
We're going to try to figure out how much cocaine's on him.
Yeah.
Which jacket has the most coke in it? He's sporting different jackets. Also, notice how it looks good in a tuxedo as well. Notice how he taps the thing. It's only official if it says members only.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's when the knockoffs started happening.
Right.
And also, where's he going?
Okay,
Alan.
Hi. Never thought I'd want to do a commercial, but here I am. For members only jackets. Why? Because when I put one on, something happens. They feel fantastic. The colors are great, and all those different styles absolutely terrific. They go anywhere, anytime. But it's only authentic if it says members only right here. I really believe in them. So should you.
The red one. The red jacket, he was yacked out of his mind.
Yes.
Looks like the guy that somebody back who, if you're 20 or 30 back then, you roll into the club and that guy's standing there. And then he tells you about his timeshare he just bought in Daytona. And he goes out to his Fiero.
Yeah.
That has a CD player into the cassette player. Chase did the same exact thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The red guy's totally, yeah.
But also,
and they want to tell you
why did he have a random mustache and sunglasses?
Yeah,
like what was going on? I mean, it was a totally different. I guess that's the different looks of the members only jacket.
Yeah, that guy went and worked out at a Vic Tanny earlier that day, played some racquetball, and then put on his red Coke jacket, and then went out to a club, and then came home and played the answering machine to see if anybody left a message. And then he had called them and said, "Just can you come over now?" And he's like, and he calls her like, "What's your address?" And then he'd have to get a piece of paper and actually write her address, and she would give him, "Okay, so you're gonna go down the street and you're gonna come and there's gonna be a Green's hamburger. You're gonna turn." Remember that? Like, so that's what all those dudes had to.
Yeah,
you had to figure out where somebody lived, write it on a piece of paper, and then drive there. But yeah, that's
I love this commercial. I didn't know. Okay, again, I didn't know who Luke was. So I'm watching this. I'm laughing my head off the first time I saw it because I'm like, why did they pick this weak-looking John McEnroe, Simon and Garfunkel pansy to be the spokesman for a badass members only jacket? Apparently, he was a badass on whatever soap opera you were watching.
Yeah, he was the guy, man. There wasn't he was. I don't know if women back then, on him texting or.
Is it okay if we look at it one more time, John? I really want to see it one more time.
There's so many other commercials. I'm thinking I want to see, but yeah, let's watch that one more time.
Hi. Never thought I'd want to do a commercial, but here I am. For members only jackets. Why? Because when I put one on, something happens. They feel fantastic. The colors are great, and all those different styles absolutely terrific. They go anywhere, anytime. But it's only authentic if it says members only right here. I really believe in them. So should you.
Okay, so his hair was different. His hair was different a couple of times, and he had a mustache one time. And I like how he goes. He's starting off this commercial thinking like, I didn't think I would ever be belittled like this to do a stupid commercial because I'm Luke.
Yeah, I'm Luke. Think of Laura and don't cry. I know you want it that way. Now I'm thinking of other 80s that was like fashion. You know, what are the jeans commercial? I don't remember. They're Levi
Levi's legendary 501 blues. I remember that.
Goes. Okay.
I'm really impressed that you knew who Tony Gary was. That's the name of the actor who was sporting the members only jacket. Who
been on a soap opera set?
Have I been on a soap opera set?
Yeah. So
no. Well, you have
a crazy story, and I don't know if this story is 100% correct.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't know if the timing's right. I don't know if General Hospital was an NBC show. I don't know. So my second Tonight Show. So after I won Last Comic, I had to do the Tonight Show the very next day.
Wow.
So you won. You went through. So I won Last Comic, and then you literally I had a press sheet. I woke up at like 4:00 in the morning, and I started doing radio, like a radio press that I probably did 100 stations.
Yeah, they call them radio tours where you pick up the phone.
Yeah,
and there's an operator, and they go like, "Okay, we're gonna patch you into this station in Milwaukee." You do it for 10 minutes, patch you in the next one, and it goes on all
forever.
day.
So I did radio from like 4 a.m. to 2:30, 3:00 p.m. Then I took a quick shower, jumped in a car, and went to Burbank to do the Tonight Show. And this is not even figuring out a set because you won Last Comic, and they go, tomorrow you're going to be on the Tonight Show, and you also then have to figure out what your 4 or 5 minute, set is. After doing radio all day, right? So I get there, I get my suit, I'm all jazzed up, and I'm in the green room, and I look, and I have the only time in my life I've ever wore flip-flops, right? Because it was such a long, I'm like, oh, I'll wear flip-flops, and then when I get to the green room at the Tonight Show, I'll change. I had my suit, forgot my shoes.
Oh no!
I have no shoes. I have no dress shoes. I have nothing. And whenever showtime is, so Jay Leno comes back into the green room, and he always would talk to you for a second, like just kind of like, hey, what's up? And he'd always have a recorder, and he would just kind of record the conversation.
Huh.
I remember him coming back there, and I didn't have anybody with me. I remember there were no agents or managers or anybody. Because I hate when people kind of get in your head. I just hate having like, I hope you do well. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna be a big thing. Like I would rather be by myself.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, you know what I like about you is you don't have any. There's no entourage back here. I'm like, yeah, but I forgot my shoes. So the wardrobe girl. So he goes, do you want to wear a pair of mine? And he brings these pair up, and I think he was my size, but the shoe did this really weird. Your shoes are the most personal thing you could ever have on, right? If I give you a pair of like weird shoes, like bozo shoes or something, it's just going to throw you off. And I'm like, I can't wear these. These look like, you're renting for prom, right? Like so then the wardrobe person ran into whatever soap opera was going on at the time. Whoever the most famous soap opera guy, I happen to be his size. And this lady brought me like a cool pair of shoes. But I just never forget doing that Tonight Show set. After everything coming out of my head was, I feel these shoes feel weird. Like it's weird.
I love this story, John. This is a great insider tidbit. And you probably never told us. I don't know if you have.
I haven't told that. Yeah, I had no.
Your first Tonight Show. You're wearing
second one.
Your second Tonight Show after winning Last Comic Standing. You're not wearing your own shoes. You're wearing a soap opera star shoes. Could have been Luke's.
Could have been so.
It could have been Victor Newman.
If you're looking, Alan, I think if you just go, I think it's on Google. There's a picture of me pointing at my shoes on the Tonight Show. If you go John Heffron, Jay Leno tonight, like a picture might show up, and it's me literally pointing at my shoes, I think.
Wow, that's awesome. Now I'm also curious, what's wrong with Jay Leno's feet? Did he had like bozo shoes? Did he have like is he flat footed? Does he have a D wide?
No, it was just a style.
Oh,
that's why I hate wearing. I've never even owned cowboy boots because I hate the pointy toe.
Yeah,
I hate super pointy toes. And whatever one he had was super pointy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. That might be an Italian thing. They like cowboy boots too. You're right. Wow, that's cool, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, and now also I learned in this story, you got a problem with flip flops.
We've seen. You remember a couple episodes ago? You've seen my toes.
Oh, right. That's for everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have the skinniest legs in the history of the world, so I've just never been a shorts guy and flip-flops guy.
So what made you wear flip-flops this one time?
Because I was up all night from winning Last Comic.
Yeah.
Because it was that was weird. So you shot Last Comic at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, if I remember correctly, right? And then the live version aired later that night. So you shot it, you won it. I was like, yeah. And then my manager took me to Denny's.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I had people over to watch it. And then my neighbor yelled at me because he was taping it and I spoiled that I won. He watched this some guy I don't even know because he obviously heard it. And then so I woke up going, okay, I'll just slap on the stuff and show up in flip flops because that's what famous people do.
Let me real quick read some of these comments because wait, there's a young John Heffron with Jay Leno pointing at his shoes, not his shoes.
Yeah,
a stranger's shoes. So now we got to look up what sitcom was filmed on the same lot. I mean, not sitcom, but soap opera was filmed on the same lot during that time. I want to know what actor it was.
Yeah, right. Look at those. Look how young I look.
That's pretty cool, dude. That's a badass photo. That's awesome. Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow, you're totally.
That's back when I rocked a. That was my my assistant suit. What am I trying to say?
You have an assistant?
No. Every assistant had that same suit. All my. That light blue with the jacket from
like an agent or something.
Yeah. And I didn't have a white shirt underneath it. I was thrown off a lot. That
you look good,
but it was a look at that. It was the younger me.
Oh yeah. The shoes look.
By the way, looks like Anderson was there too. Yeah. So I did my Tonight shows, my very first one, and it's killing me that I can't find a picture of this. And I've looked in those Getty images that we just showed you. I don't even know how to look this up, or if I find it, I would have to buy it from the guy. But my very first Tonight Show was with Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm.
I went out and did the set, and Dolly Parton was sitting there, and Dolly Parton was laughing at me my entire set, my very first Tonight Show. And then I sat down, and she leaned over, and she was touching my leg the whole time. She's like, "Hey, you're just super, super funny." But my dad was so crazy impressed that Dolly Parton touched me.
Right.
That was not, I was on the Tonight Show, but he's from that era where Dolly Parton and she was, yeah. So Dolly Parton was the first one. The second one I did was with Pamela Anderson, was the second, guest that was on there. Wow. And then, Tyra Banks was the next one. So I always had a theme. Yeah, I always had a theme with one. Yeah.
Dude, you got 3 legendary hotties on every.
What a great picture all 3 of those would be, though. Because they do panel shots.
Yeah.
And Leno had you go sit down and you did like a set. Man, I wish I could have those 3 pictures. Just like Dolly.
Dolly touched your leg.
And yeah, Tyra Banks. That would just look like really cool, but I don't know how I would get those pictures unless you find whoever the Tonight Show picture guy was back then. Oh, yeah, that was that night. Yep. We talked like of that book. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. It's the same. Yeah, both of them having it looks like Jay Leno's having a little bit more fun with Pamela. That's great, dude.
So also that thing, I think she was married to Tommy Lee. So I did was it before that or after? Might have been after. I'm trying to think if that's when I met Tommy Lee, and I think I was getting married and he wanted to go on our honeymoon with us or something weird like that to Bora Bora. And I was like, yeah, Tommy Lee's not going on a honeymoon.
Yeah.
He's really was pushing for it, though. I'm not kidding you. He's like, I'll just go with you guys and we'll get a villa. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I probably should have. That would have been a better story. Like now, especially just how things ended. Like I think I would have rather had a Tommy Lee story.
Right, because you can say, well, but I got to hang out with Tommy Lee for a weekend.
I think it was that. I think it was that era.
That's crazy, man. The stories you have, John, it never ceases to amaze me. You ran into Eddie Van Halen at a porn place. Tommy Lee wanted to go on your honeymoon with you. You were in soap opera shoes.
Yeah, and you forget. Here's what I think. What that sucks out getting older is you need to be sparked. Is I think I'm forgetting some really fun stories just because I'm not a story guy, so I don't retell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people I know, I say the same story to enough where they go, yeah, you've told me this. Yeah, you realize you told me that in a text or told me today. I'm that guy, but I just all the fun little Hollywood stories I'm slowly forgetting.
We should do an episode where we talk about crazy stories of things that happened to us when we lived in Los Angeles that we've never really talked about on our in our stand up at all. Because I have one about running into or going out with the girl who was going out with Keanu Reeves at the same time.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I have like those type of stories where I would never rat out anybody.
Right.
Right. Because you're just.
But then again, this is what she told me, but I saw an argument between the two of them. And then he came to my defense. It's a great story. I'll save it for the next episode because we're almost at an hour now. And I haven't even mentioned, I got to say this real quick. Tim Eckert is wanting us to come to the Oklahoma City or Texas comedy clubs.
Oh, yeah. Let me,
you got some tour dates you want to plug?
Hold on. Let me,
Reap shameless plugs.
Hey, Tim, I believe I'm there in December. I think I'm there. I think I'm in Oklahoma City. No, that's all. I'm in Omaha. Never mind. I'm there. I'm someplace. I was at So anyway, so next week, Michigan people, I'm at the Comedy Castle. This will be year 32 that I'm there.
Tell Ridley to book me.
Yeah, let's just hope everything stays like so. I've been here. Michigan's getting weird with closing things down again.
Oh, great.
So we might be back to that where Michigan now, if you go out to eat, they want you have to give them your name and your number. And the restaurant has to keep the your info. So people are having a hard time with that. Like they're like, I'm not telling the government that I have to eat, even though every time you go to CVS and they go, what's your number? And you give it to them, even though nobody has a problem constantly doing that, but it's a thing. Yeah. So limited seats there. We're selling about 2,000 tickets, less than I normally sell a year. Mm-hmm. There. I don't know what the limits are, 75 people, but most of them are kind of jammed. So that's at the Comedy Castle, and then I've had whatever. So we'll plug that. So next week, Comedy Castle in Michigan. Click on whatever you got to click on. So that's all.
Very nice. My next gig is not until November the 20th. I'll be in Charleston, South Carolina at the Charleston Music Hall Theater. So come see me there. Also, last episode, you were having technical things, so we had Reno Collier sit in.
Right.
And we got on a random conversation about this dude, Andy Williams. And my intern, Elliot, brought me this album. And I forgot to even mention it at the beginning of the show because I was going to say, if we get a new Patreon supporter while we're doing this, I'll personally mail you this Christmas album by Andy Williams. And he's got a great voice. And look at this smile. I can see him rocking the Jordache look.
The Jordache. Hey, here's something I want to ask you, John. Guess the relationship between these groups and numbers. 1, 4. Wait, did I already?
No. Keep going. No, it's the dial pad. You already did it.
Oh, damn it. I'm so dumb. So the Andy Williams thing, we have a lot of gifts we're actually going to, if the world keeps going, which I think it is, it will. There's a lot of great stuff we have coming up that we can give away. So you just showed that. Let's talk about that album that you had next week.
Okay.
Right? Or or if you want to throw the Patreon
thingy. Yeah. Alan, put up our Patreon.
Yeah.
We should have been asking people all along. You want to support the podcast, we have a Patreon support page. Check it out, heffronandreap.com. Click on Patreon.
So here's what I have coming up, though. And we'll talk. Let's just get past this week. Everyone, you go out and vote no matter what. If you got to stand in line, vote for whoever it is you're voting for. Then, we rock out the rest of it. But I have a lot of gifts for us to give away. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, good.
We're very 80s themey. I got my grubby hands on a few American Girl 80s dolls. That's the thing. I got my hands on a bunch of Evel Knievel race. Do you remember the Evel Knievel race car where you in it? I have some of those.
Oh, fun.
I have some new. These are all new, old, some Timex Pac-Man watches. So we got to start thinking of some fun ways to give away some stuff because we're kind of kicking into that holiday.
Yeah.
Where people are going to want to give stuff to people and we could find some fun ways. So I'm just telling you that now because that's easier for me to tell you how I just told you than to text you everything I just told you.
That's perfect. I hear you and the people hear you. And I want to say thank you to Jessica and Reynolds for the candy corn that she brought me and the Toledo Funny Bone. But don't forget heffronandreap.com. Click on Patreon and
you're just
spread the word.
Candy corn.
Huh?
I have the weirdest dream about candy corn.
I love candy corn, but only during Halloween.
Do you eat off the white part first? Do you eat it in threes or do you throw the whole thing in?
Dude, I got to tell you something embarrassing. So this lady gave me the candy corn. I go back to my hotel room. I take the food with me that I get from the club.
Right.
I pig out, and then I'm just like, I need something sweet. I'm like, oh, the candy corn.
Right.
And so I'm literally waiting for my sleeping pill had kind of kicked in. I was kind of like this, but I knew I wanted something sweet. I reached over, I grabbed this bag of candy corn, and I went, ah, and it just went like that. I was like, and I passed out. And then the next morning I woke up and there were little pieces of candy corn all over the bed. I did not eat the white part first. I don't know what part entered my mouth first.
All right, so I would like to think to other things to talk about, but let's save that for next week and not click on links, do whatever. There's links around this. Go to our fan pages, download the stuff. Do we want to try to find Jordache by next week? That probably
now. Somebody send us some Jordache jeans in the mail. I'm a 34 waist, unfortunately, 30 length. Send us some Jordache
Wait,
jeans.
we can get the same Jordache because I'm a 34 waist, maybe like 34.
You're probably 33.
Because I don't. So we could wear the same pair. It doesn't matter if they're long or not. So
right. Oh, we could always do the tight roll. That's true.
Yeah. So
yeah, right. Send me and John some Jordache jeans. We'll wear them and give you shout outs. But most importantly, go to our Patreon and be a supporter.
All right, everybody. That is it for us. Thank you for.
Take us out, Rick Sanford III.
You've been listening to the smooth sounds of Heffron and Reap. The show is over, but come back next week, same Reap time, same Heffron channel, for more comedy conversations, music, 80s church, and the life and times of the quarantine comedian. Always expect the unexpected, and who knows where the conversations will go. And as always, remember to rate, review, subscribe, and share. Peace.
Distressed Denim by Jordache.
Since you love the Heffron and Reap show, please go to iTunes and let them know. Rank the show and leave a comment. We don't care what you write, you know. They, Heffron and Reap, have low self-esteem.